Hi guys, this is Steve from Belgian Hikers. Today we are bringing you 3 amazing cold soaked recipes. So why cold soaked? Because it's easy. Just add water and eat. No heating, no hassle. It keeps your backpack light because you can leave your whole cooking system at home. And lastly, it's healthy. We've got 3 recipes for you full of nutrition and taste. So let's get soaking.
Just a quick tip before we get to the recipes. Cold soak ingredients are usually either freeze-dried or dehydrated. You can buy these in stores, but there's no reason at all why you can't dry your own favorite vegetables in an oven or an air fryer. It does take a bit of time, but it's mostly hands-off time. For the first and last recipe, we use the dehydration function on our air fryer. It takes about 3 hours, comes out looking great. Store-bought works too, obviously, but it's a bit of a niche product and prices are sometimes higher than you might expect, so the DIY version is a nice alternative. First up on the menu, Mexican-style cold-soaked noodles. Just about any style of instant noodles will work here. Just take 1 packet of instant noodles and break them up into pieces. Then you add your vegetables. We chose a tablespoon of dried corn, 1 or 2 tablespoons of dried onions, red bell peppers and zucchini, and 4 tablespoons of dried soup vegetables. Now these soup vegetables are store-bought and they're probably one of the cheapest ways to add vegetables to your cold soak. Next, you add a couple of teaspoons of Fajita or other Tex-mex seasoning. There's many of these on the market, so find one that matches your taste buds. This seasoning is obviously where most of the taste comes from, so you can add more teaspoons if you want something with a little more punch. We also like to add a couple of teaspoons of fried onions to get you a little of that fast food flavor. Lastly, you mix all that up and that's pretty much it for the preparation. When it's time to eat, let it sit for about 30 minutes and add some beef jerky for protein and flavor. This second one is not just special, it is the Steve special. You start with about 200 grams of instant pre-cooked couscous. Then about 50 grams of seed mix. I'm sure that what you will find in your local supermarket is a little different than what we have here. They may be marketed as salad topper or something like that, but you're looking for things like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and pine nuts. You add a couple of spoons of pistachio nuts. Vegetables for this one are a little different because we're using the crispy dried vegetables that you can buy as snacks. This also works with vegetable crisps. They usually come salted so you won't need as much seasoning later on. If you want them super crunchy, you can also choose to add them after soaking. Then half a cup of mixed nuts and raisins. And for the seasoning, a good amount of Italian or Mediterranean mix, a bit of rosemary, some dried garlic, and some extra pepper. 2 tips for those in search of a little extra taste. If you're looking for some extra sweetness, add a handful of cut up dried onions. If you like it savory, crush a vegetable bouillon cube and add it to the mix. Mix it all up and divide it into bags of 200 to 300 grams each for a meal of approximately 500 to 600 calories. When it's time to eat, let it sit for about 15 minutes and add some beef jerky, protein, and flavor. Last on the menu, Medina Couscous. You start with about 100 grams of instant pre-cooked couscous. You can of course add more if you want some extra carbs. Step 2 is adding the vegetables. We chose 2 tablespoons of dried onion, red bell pepper, and zucchini, and 4 tablespoons of dried soup vegetables. Next you add the seasoning. 1 teaspoon of ras el hanout, half a teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of paprika, either sweet or hot paprika depending on what you like best, and you finish it off with a pinch of salt. Then 2 tablespoons of raisins, giving it that Middle Eastern vibe, and 1 tablespoon of fried onions. Mix it all, put it in a container or in a Ziploc bag if you want to take it hiking. And when you're ready to eat, just let it soak for 20 minutes and add some beef or chicken jerky and pistachio nuts, either salted or unsalted. Okay guys, thanks for watching. These were our 3 favorite cold soak recipes and we would love to hear about your favorites in the comments. See you next time.